So what are my thoughts on Elon Musk leaving Tesla? What's going on, team? It's Ricky here with TechBud Solutions. As you guys might have read already, Elon Musk has made a threat to potentially take his talents elsewhere if he is not compensated more. Some people view this as very greedy, and for those that maybe look a little bit more into it, might understand where he's coming from. But in this video, we're going to break it down and also share with you the stock price and the opportunities that are presenting themselves. If you guys learned something new, again, I would really appreciate the thumbs up, and if you guys subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions or suggestions after this video, please do not hesitate to either comment down below or shoot me a direct message via Instagram, which is the third link in the description down below. Let's go ahead and break down Tesla very quickly. I love talking about oversold companies, but we're going to talk about the good and we're going to talk about the bad. Tesla has recently been selling off, and it was because of a tweet that we got from the one and only Elon Musk saying on X, "I am uncomfortable growing Tesla to be a leader in AI and robotics without having 25% voting control. Enough to be influential, but not so much that I can't be overturned." Seems possibly reasonable. A little heads up, Elon Musk currently owns about 13% of Tesla. Now, part of it is maybe his doing because he had to liquidate some of his shares to acquire X. So I understand both sides of those that agree with him or maybe those that don't and kind of view him as being a little bit greedy. So unless that is the case, I would prefer to build products outside of Tesla. You don't seem to understand that Tesla is not one startup, but a dozen. Simply look at the delta between what Tesla does and GM does. Very true, right? The development, when it comes down to Tesla, the value is not just brought by the vehicles, but all of the advancements that it's making in these smaller developments. And this is where he's saying Tesla is not just one startup, but does it, right? They're working on the Optimus robot, which has to do with AI. He's working on a handful of different things. And if you've noticed, he's also been shifting more of his focus less on Tesla and more on those kind of like different avenues where he has said it himself that he thinks that the Optimus robot is something that will make Tesla one day the most valuable company that's publicly traded. That means that it would be valued at $4 to $5 trillion. Tesla right now sits at a $674 billion market cap, meaning that it would literally have to almost 10x from where it's currently at right now. So the question that I began to ask myself is, should we buy at 200, or can things get worse before they get better? Again, you have to remind yourself, this is a threat of leaving Tesla. So we'll get back to it in just a little bit. For stock ownership itself should be enough of a motivation. Fidelity and other own similar stakes to me. Why don't they show up for work? So what he is saying is that Fidelity and other people or other investors or other funds own just as much of Tesla than he does. But yet he has to show up every single day. Now, I understand both sides when it comes down to this because it's like, okay, well, you've liquidated and have sold off some of your shares where Fidelity had to buy into it, right? He's saying that he owns 13%, maybe Fidelity owns 13%, and a few other investors own around 13%. Yet he is the one that is putting the blood, sweat, and tears in creating and developing Tesla to what it is today. So he wants a different compensation plan. So imagine showing up to work for free because he has no salary, but of course he is paid in shares. Now, again, he's one of the richest people in the world, so it's hard for someone to understand, but you can see someone in his position, he's already chilling, right? So why would he want to continue to exhaust himself if there was no further compensation? I really think that he understands how valuable he is to Tesla itself. And it's a leverage point, right? Where if he leaves Tesla, this is just a glimpse, right? I want to show you from highs of around 260 to current lows of around 212, it has lost nearly 20%. 20% is what investors have lost in about 2 trading weeks. Now imagine if Elon Musk were to leave when it comes down to the development of AI and robotics. Let's take a further step back. This is one thing that people don't really understand. We talk about it with our LPP team all the time. It's looking at different time frames, give you different perspectives of the actual range that this stock can trade in. If I look at this on the 4-hour, I could be like, oh my goodness, man, Tesla is such a good deal. It's at a support. It bounces at 200. It's a buy, buy, buy. But what if we take a further step back? Oh, shoot, Ricky. When we look at the day chart, it cannot, I thought it was cheap at 200, but it was just in early 2023, so about 1 year ago, that it was trading at lows of 100. So you're telling me that it could potentially lose 50% of its current value. And this is where the saying comes in. The cheap can always get cheaper. And imagine if Elon Musk were to announce, later Tesla, I'm taking my talents elsewhere, if he is not more, in his eyes, fairly compensated. And I truly believe that he is putting Tesla not in a, I don't believe he thinks he should. And it's not about that. It's not about what you believe. It's not about what I believe. It's not even so much about what maybe the top execs believe. But if he does leave Tesla, think about it. It's for the greater good that he stays, because there is a lot of additional value that is factored in Tesla because of one man. And that is Elon Musk. Imagine what Tesla would be if it weren't for Elon. There is no question that it would not be worth what it is today. Because when you invest in Tesla, you are indirectly investing in Elon. And he is our Iron Man of the 21st century, right? So now that we talked about the why of what's going on, I want to talk about the potential. So based off of current price points, it is oversold based off of recent patterns. Based off of the past 4 to 5 months, it is oversold. If it potentially begins to recover, let's talk about that. Just recovers to previous highs of where it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago, nearly a 25% return. That's a huge return. If you come from like a crypto background or something like that, you might be like, that's nothing. Oh, I trade options. I make 50%. Okay, well, I don't come from that, right? And when I focus on NASDAQ or S&P 500, being able to see a 5 or 10% return is insane. Now, seeing a 25% return on something like Tesla is mind-boggling. It really is, especially when you trade or invest with a lot more money. For $1 million, there's $250,000 that you could potentially make. $100,000, $25,000, right? $10,000, $2,500, or $1,000, you can make $250. It's all perspective. But again, the cheap can always get cheaper. So here's my quick plan. I wouldn't be against trading Tesla or buying into Tesla if it actually begins to indicate signs of a reversal. If it, right, we talk about an LPP, it's the 3 stages of a reversal. There's the rejection, there's the consolidation, and then when it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, that's the confirmation. I wouldn't mind taking a small position. Obviously, 25% is the overall margin that it offers. I don't expect to capture all of that. I'm not a perfect trader, therefore my entries and my exits will never be perfect. But I can enter when it makes sense, right? And if it begins to break above the EMA around 223, 224, if I get that confirmation, I wouldn't mind taking a small position and going long on it to potentially lock in profit to around 250 to 260 if my trade goes according to plan. But if Tesla continues to sell off with no indication of reversal, I also wouldn't mind and be against shorting it. A lot of you guys saw that this week I was shorting Tesla as it began to trade below the 250 and the 240. It actively began to sell off. A lot of people hate when I short, but guess what? What are we all here to do? We're here to make money. So let's not make it personal, right? We're all here to make money, and I like to focus on one thing, and that is direction. So if the market is, if Tesla is selling off, then why shouldn't I feel comfortable shorting it? And the more that it sells off, the more money I can make. But then once it does begin to become extremely oversold, and let's say that we do break below 200, that's going to be a timber. I wouldn't mind opening a heavy short position then. But as of right now, I probably, as it continues to hold above 200, might want to stay a little bit light for the possibility of it to reverse, right? So I shouldn't be afraid to take advantage of an opportunity. It just means that I could accommodate the risk by sizing down. Again, these are concepts that we talk about every day during our live session with the LPP team. But overall, I not only wanted to talk about how much money it could potentially make, but also talk about that things can get worse before they get better. And I wanted to show you, right? I wanted to explain to you the why Tesla's selling off. Things can get worse before they get better, so I wouldn't be against shorting it. But if it does begin to recover, my plan of action is the 3 stages of a reversal. Again, I like to keep things simple here when it comes down to breaking down these stocks, and I hope that I did that for you. Remember, if you have any questions about what we talked about, shoot me a direct message right now, either via Discord or via Instagram, and that is linked in the description down below. Also, while we are talking about Tesla, we are also hosting a Tesla giveaway, and it literally ends tomorrow on January 21st. I'm not joking about this. We're giving away this Tesla Model 3. It's on shop.techbets.com, which is the fourth link in the description down below. We're licensed and bonded when it comes down to this giveaway, meaning that a third-party sweepstakes company selects the winner. We've given away 2 other cars before this, a GTR and a BMW M4, and now it's this Tesla. It literally ends tomorrow, and you might be asking, well, how do I enter, Ricky? Literally super simple. You head on over to shoptechbets.com. We're doing 20x entries, which means every dollar spent equals 20 automatic entries to win that Tesla, and you can buy anything from the mystery box and everything that's included to literally the Go F Yourself Elon Musk tee, the Cybertruck mouse pad. We have a bunch of different apparel for a bunch of different things. We have Wall Street apparel, Los Angeles, Tokyo, Phoenix, that wall art that you see behind me, the mouse pads, accessories. Literally every order gets you entered. And guess what? It's all 20x entries, and it all ends tomorrow. So if you want to enter for your chance to win, what are you waiting for? Fourth link in the description down below, and you will automatically get entered for the chance to win that Tesla Model 3 long range. If you have any questions about that, shoot me a direct message. If not, again, I hope to see you for Monday's live trading session, and that is the second link in the description down below if you want access to being able to watch me trade live as soon as Monday. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.